Look, this the Black Holocaust. I knew it was prophecy. 1,000 times worse than the Jewish atrocities. Uneven playing field, there'll never be a fair score. Cause in 1619, that's when they declared war. We the 12 tribes, the ones that the promise reaches. My Negro
here in America, and the brown man here in America.
Apartheid. Specific.
Are you a Christian?
No.
No? What are you, an atheist?
I'd say I'm
Atheist. What does atheist mean?
It means that believe not necessarily.
What is the word? What is the etymological definition
I
of
don't
the word?
necessarily believe in a italicized version of the religion. I think go wrong,
Oh, wait, that sounds more like, do you believe in God?
I mean, God is in name only, or is it a higher power, just in general?
Higher power.
I'd say maybe so.
So?
But 100% conviction, I don't think.
So that's not an atheist, that's more like an agnostic.
Okay.
You're open to something, you know something's there, but we just can't figure it out.
Yeah, but without.
It's not religion.
Well, without saying, absolutely, one way or the other, you kind of gotta, leave the door open on both sides, I have a hard time with, definitions of specific things, just outright defining things one way or the other.
Okay, so how do you feel about what happened to the Black, Hispanic, and Native American man here in the Americas?
Hey man, it wasn't positive. None of it was
positive,
good.
It wasn't positive, right? So,
no, absolutely not.
So, what should happen? Like, do you believe in justice?
Certain, aspects of justice. I don't believe an eye for an eye necessarily, but
of course you don't, because you've been catapulted into the front of society in white privilege and white supremacy.
Yeah.
So you don't want to give it back. Of course you don't.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, as far as that particular example goes, is anybody along the line lineage of any negative things that occurred at any point responsible for their ancestors? Directly?
You should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I take your house and I put you out of the house, and I put you in the backyard in a damn doghouse, and I leave your house for an inheritance to my children's children, how would that make your children's children feel?
I get you. But how about your child themselves, your child's child, or your great-great-grandchild? You feel that individual should have to answer for things that you have done?
Absolutely. You know why? Because, well, here's the thing. Maybe not if you get the hell out of America.
Okay.
If you get out of America, and you're not standing on stolen ground, and you're not benefiting from the rape, rob, and murder of the Native Americans and the so-called black man, then you can have, a bit of a case there. But when you're benefiting off of stolen property, stolen land, oppression, $4.7 trillion of slavery, which boomed the economy and set up these institutions and systems and companies and these buildings that you see. When you're benefiting off of that, then you can't say, I had nothing to do with that. Why am I being punished for taking part in it?
I see. But what about when you're not necessarily living off of it? Let's say you cash out, go someplace else. Is that also that individual is also financially feasible? There should be some relations there too.
That takes away from some of the punishment. I'll say that. But the fact is that the God we serve is a God who punishes whole nations. There's not going to be one good guy who gets out of a judgment. It happened with us as well. Give me Jeremiah chapter 18. It says, if that nation repent. And then get me Jeremiah chapter 12. Start at verse 12.
How you feel about Afro-Cubans as opposed to just Cubans?
Afro-Cubans are our people. Here's what we believe. We're the Israelites according to the Bible.
Yeah,
okay? We're your future slave masters.
Okay.
We're above all nations on the planet Earth. We're God's chosen people. Absolutely.
All right.
Because it's called justice and it's called karma. If you're agnostic, you believe in it.
Okay.
Right? Absolute justice. Well, you might not be here when it happens. You might die of a heart attack. You might die trying to get away from the chains I'm about to put around your neck, and I'm gonna have to bust your head wide open, right? So
jump off the ship.
You can jump off the ship, right? So it's going to be a polar opposite event according to the Bible.
Okay.
It says right now the servants are on horses, and the princes are walking the earth. Give me that real quick. Ecclesiastes what? Let me run it up for you.
What version?
This is the King James Bible.
Okay.
But we do comparative translations and comparative text as well.
All right.
Let me run it up to you real quick so you can have this understanding. You got some black friends?
Yeah, of course.
You can go tell them. You can go tell them this. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
I have seen servants upon horses.
I have seen servants on horses. What are these servants doing on horses? What does this mean? A servant.
Allegorical?
It's allegorical.
Transportation?
It's allegorical. No, what it means is that a people of a low place are in a high place.
Okay.
It shouldn't be like that.
All right.
Go ahead.
And princes walking the earth, as princes as servants upon the earth.
So the Bible is saying that these servants who are supposed to be lowly are in a high position on the earth. And the people that are in high position who are supposed to be, they're the lowly of the earth right now.
Okay.
And that's us, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
All right.
When God said this world was made for our sake, according to the Bible. Who was the first man? The first man wasn't a white man.
Who was the
First man to get dominion, that was Adam. The second man to get dominion, who was it? It was Nimrod, a black Ethiopian man.
Nimrod.
Yeah.
Okay.
The third man to get complete dominion was Nebuchadnezzar, another damn Cushite. Okay, the fourth man to get dominion was a Persian, another brown man. It wasn't until the Greeks with that creep Alexander where they got complete and total rule of the empire.
Yeah.
And what did they do? What you holding? Jeremiah? What you got? Give me at the Maccabees where when Alexander came into power, evils multiplied in the earth. First Maccabees chapter 1. Let's read that. Let's start at verse 1. So the Bible is very clear. All these black nations had power over the earth and rule. But it wasn't until the white man came up where it says evils multiplied. Why the hell is that? Because we see even without the Bible, the white man does nothing but rape, rob, murder, holes in the ozone layer, black holes in the sea, try to force his ideologies on every other nation and drop bombs on them if they don't.
Just a question real quick, just as far as like lineage is concerned. Like,
You're trying to get out of it. That's what you're trying to do.
I'm just asking a question in general. Is how
What
would
if
y'all
you
feel
have a
about-
black forefather? Is that what you're saying?
Well, not necessarily that, but I mean, just whole races that weren't necessarily the color that they are now. Would that something that could be absolved, or is that absolute as well? I mean, the Italian.
Well, no.
Or let's say, Egyptians, individuals that aren't necessarily, just.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So we believe you are who your father is. So let's say that I have a baby with a white woman, and then he's a boy, and he has a baby with a white woman, and he's a boy, and he has a baby with. Yeah. So pretty much 8 generations later, that kid will look white, but that kid's forefather is actually black.
Yeah.
Now that can happen, but that doesn't happen on a nationalistic scale.
Okay.
Like a whole nation ain't gonna change colors. Why? Because the lesser remnants of colored people will be absolved by, which is why people say Mexicans are descendants of Spaniards, right? It couldn't be like that because there was millions of Mexicans and there was only a remnant of them damn Spaniards who stayed over here. They would have been absolved. So you would have been absolved. Let's say 100,000 white people lived in the same village as 1 million black people. After time, through the dominance of the people, you guys will be absolved into our culture. So one nation doesn't just turn into a whole other nation.
Really?
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, even like if you was to take archaeology in college, those archaeologist teachers, they'll tell you like within the next 5,000 years, if this place exists for that long, there's not gonna be no more white people. They're not gonna be all color.
Yeah, and the reason why is not that you guys are gonna just turn into a whole nother color nationalistically. You guys aren't populating. We just got done talking about that earlier. The statistics say that Europe is dying because the old white Caucasians are dying, and then you guys aren't able to procreate quick enough to supply that demand and balance, right? So that's why you guys will be absolved and or die out. Furthermore, white scientists even say this, that the sun is killing white people. you guys are biologically and genetically inferior to the actual
Melanin-wise, we're just inferior.
natural elements.
Okay.
Look, even if there was no black man on the earth to rule over you, then the elements would rule over you.
All right, yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
So bring that out. Jeremiah, what was you holding? No, give me that in Maccabees.
It's the book of 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shedem, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
So Alexander, this is history that is given you, right? Alexander came from Macedonia, assumed the mantle of the Greeks, took down Darius the Persians, right? This is history. Go ahead.
That he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece,
First over Greece, read.
and
Hold
made
on.
many wars,
Uh-huh.
and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations.
So this was the first rise of the so-called white man. You had Esau, because your forefather would be Esau, an Edomite, right? But now they didn't have dominion though. They only got the first dominion with the Greeks.
So what's y'all's definition of dominion?
An empire, right? So go ahead.
And took the spoils of many nations,
Uh-huh.
insomuch that the earth was quiet before him,
Uh-huh.
whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
Uh-huh.
And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him for his youth, and parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive.
Hold on, I don't think that's it. Yeah, that's first Maccabees though.
Yeah, it was definitely having a hard time rolling with that. But I mean, just in general. So y'all have a much different timeline as far as
First Maccabees 1 and 9. Let me read this real quick. Hold your thought. I want to hear it. Go ahead.
And after his
Just for the
death they
camera
all
sake.
put crowns upon themselves.
Uh-huh.
So did their sons after them.
Uh-huh.
Many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
The evils were multiplied in the earth. So the earth was cool. I wouldn't say it was cool, but it was at a certain level of wickedness. And so when the first white people started coming into power, then evils multiplied in the earth. All right. So what does that say? That the Edomites, the white man, are the wicked of the earth, right? The Caucasian man, you would call it a European. I wouldn't call you a European because there's black Japhetic Greeks who are ruling in Europe as well. So Europe isn't synonymous with white. Europe wasn't a homogeneous continent, okay? So you're actually Caucasian. You had a question about his timelines?
Well, you know, just like I don't know. I just in general, just as a question, not positive or negative one way or the other. It sounds like you have a different timeline as opposed to somebody like myself. When certain empires, of black man ruling or black rulers as opposed to what I would be aware of, simply just through my teachings that I've learned up until this point.
Give an example.
I mean, like individuals like, let's say, did Mozart have any black in him?
Mozart?
Yeah.
Mozart.
Legend.
Oh, the musician.
Beethoven.
Yeah,
Beethoven.
Allegedly. Well, you're
Okay.
talking about a timeline. Are you saying your timeline pre-exists my timeline?
No. I'm asking. I'm asking the timeline that just is standard amongst let's say American teachings or
Well,
whatnot.
conventional chronology. According to conventional chronology, I don't know what's the point you're making.
No.
They say he's mixed. They say he had some black in him allegedly. I don't know if it can be proven.
It's just one of those questions where at what point is the line drawn or is the line cut?
Oh,
as far
okay.
as who has to,
Okay, I get what you're saying. So, if I have a daughter, that's when it stops
Okay.
because the seed line stops with your daughter.
Okay.
So, if I have a son by a white woman and he has a son by a white woman, and then he has a daughter by the white woman,
Okay.
then that seed
That's
stops.
where the cut is, right?
It's called a lineage for a reason. You go by the seed line of your father, and that's according to all ethnicities except for the fake Jews who you see in Israel today. They try to say it's maternal because they hate the Bible and they go rather with the Talmud and the Kabbalah. But according to the Bible, you are who your father is. Okay, so when that daughter gets with another man who's Persian, that seed line stops now. Even though it may take up the same traits as the maternal mother.
Fake Jews. Are we talking about Israel as a whole? Or are we talking about, you know, specific?
I'm talking about all those Jewish people in Israel. Those are not Jews, those are imposters.
Right.
The Bible says the real Jews are black and brown. Okay, and that they would be under curses until this day. And the Bible says when the real Jews would get to Israel, there would be a mass war, and then it would be peace forever and no war.
Where's it say this?
Give me Joel chapter 3, and give me Micah chapter 4.
Bring it out.
4 verse 2 and 3. And then it also says that when the Messiah comes back, that the Jews, the Israelites, will be in captivity and slavery. I don't think that happened in 1948. They got their ass on planes. Go ahead. Joel chapter 3, start at verse 1.
It's the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
So bring again the captivity means to end the captivity. So the Bible is saying, in the end times, the Israelites will be in captivity. God's going to end the captivity by divine intervention. And then what's going to happen right after that?
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
So he said he's going to gather all nations to a world war. So this can't be talking about those white Jews over there in Israel. You cannot be in that land and it be any, the Bible says the Israelites would not be in the land from 70 AD until they go back to the land. Then there's a war settling all discrepancies. The Israelites are at the top of all nations, and there's no more war after that. Drop that. Give me Micah 4, 2 to 3.
Micah chapter 4,
Just read verse 3.
Verse 3. And he shall judge among many people.
Read it loud.
And he shall judge among many people. And rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation.
See, so we see nations fighting right now. We see North Korea about to bomb America. We see the Palestinians and the Jews still fighting. The Bible says when the Jews are in their own land, there's not going to be no more war. Read it again. No, just keep going.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
Read that last part again.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
When the real Israelites are in the land, there ain't going to be no more war anymore.
That's right.
They launching Scud missiles at each other right now. They launching cruise missiles at each other right now. So them ain't the real Israelites according to the Bible, according to phenotype, according to genetic, biological makeup, and according to the most important thing, prophecy.
Right on.
Okay?
Right.
What was your question, sir?
I had a lot of questions
Bring it out.
because I don't understand anything about all of it.
I'll tell you why. Give me Daniel 12 and 10.
I have one question though. You believe in Adam and Eve?
I believe in Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. That's what.
You believe in Adam and Eve?
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
And the serpent came along and tempted Eve to eat the apple, right?
Where's the apple at in the Bible? Where does it talk about an apple?
The tree of life of all that stuff.
Why did you say it was an apple? This isn't some.
Whatever, a piece of fruit off the fruit.
This isn't Macintosh,
The
man.
fruit of trees, the whatever.
Okay.
She ate the whatever, right?
Yeah.
She wasn't supposed to, right?
Right.
That was temptation, right?
Right.
Overtook her?
Right.
That's the devil, right? Overtook her?
The spirit of Satan hopped on the
Told her to eat the
individual.
apple, right?
Hopped on that
She
individual.
couldn't stand the temptation, right?
Right.
So she ate it.
She ate
When
it.
Adam told her not to, right?
He told her
and
not to.
Jesus told her not to. So she still did it, right?
Still did it.
Okay.
wicked
So what
woman.
happens then? My point is, they had kids, right? Adam and Eve had kids, right?
Adam and Eve had kids,
Okay. So those kids had kids, right?
Uh-huh.
That's incest, right?
No.
That's not incest?
No.
What is that?
Who says that Cain married his sister? Who says that any of their kids married each other?
No, incest is when you have biological
They
sex.
weren't the
with-
first. They weren't the first human beings on the earth. They were the
They
first.
the first human beings. I'm saying they were related and they had sex and they had kids.
Prove it.
It says right in the Bible they had kids. It's read it.
Prove it.
It's in the Bible.
Where's your Bible at?
It's not with you, man.
It's not with you.
It's
okay.
in my phone.
Don't come back
My
until
phone's
you
dead.
don't come back until you can show me Adam's kids had sex with each other. How about that? And don't put that on my forefathers just because your forefathers, the the so-called white man, how
Where were
disgusting
men
he
created
is.
from then? Where were men created from?
Humanity.
It sounds like y'all believe in an absolute,
Men were
an absolute
created.
So you believe
translation
in
of the
something
Bible.
totally different
No,
then?
I believe that God created humanity according to the Bible.
Adam and Eve, you said you
He
believed
created
Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve was created,
We're
but
children
humanity,
from Adam and Eve.
humanity was created
We're
with
all
Adam
children
and
of
Eve.
Adam and Eve, or the Jehovah's of all mankind.
Just
Abraham.
Abraham's the Jehovah's.
He's a Jehovah.
What you got in that cup, man?
You need to read the
Jack
Bible
Daniels.
more. You need to read
You
the
got
Bible
Jack
more,
Daniels in
man.
your cup.
You're reading the
You
wrong
need to
Bible.
brush your teeth a little more. But anyway, bring it out.
Tobacco,
He said he
man.
didn't understand, right? And
Go
that's
ahead.
obvious.
It's the reason why you didn't understand.
Show
First you
the
say,
Bible. Show the
first you
Bible.
say you didn't under. What's your name? Larry.
Doesn't matter what my name is.
Larry.
Doesn't matter what my name is.
Okay.
And I chew tobacco.
Your name is Hector, the Hope Protector. That's what you are.
I
Go
drink
ahead.
tobacco.
Book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of Mount of Esau?
You're destroyed right now, the Bible says. Your understanding is destroyed. Because you're superimposing your presuppositions into
All
the
I'm saying is
text.
Adam and Eve had kids. Their kids had kids. And it all
No,
started with
Adam and Eve,
incest.
let me show you something. Let me
What
show you
happened
something.
with incest?
Adam and
People
Eve
get
had
born.
kids. Adam and
People
Eve
get
had
born
kids.
from
Are you?
Adam-
Do you teach the Bible? Do you teach the Bible?
No.
Okay, then
I
shut up.
just-
Shut up and
I
let me
just
teach
said
the
I
Bible.
read it.
Okay, shut up and let me teach the Bible. Adam and Eve's kids had kids. They then mated with other kids that were on the planet.
No,
They didn't mate with
there
each
wasn't
other.
any other kids on the planet.
Okay, so it was just
Adam
there
and
wasn't.
Eve.
Give me
Adam
Genesis
was
chapter
just
1.
human beings
Give me
on
Genesis
earth.
chapter 1.
Oh, come on, man.
Go ahead.
You know that.
Give me Daniel 12 and 10 as well. Go ahead. Yeah, 21.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 21. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth.
Are you a living creature?
I don't know. Am I?
Actually, you're not a person, you're a beast. This is when, let me show you when the Lord made you, when he made the beast.
I'm an
Look at the
alien.
beast.
And I believe in aliens.
Go ahead.
I'm an alien. I'm from another universe.
You're an illegal alien, that's what you are. You're an illegal
Let's go to the
alien.
Bible.
That's right.
You're an illegal alien. Go ahead. Yeah, give me back. Go ahead, read that.
God. And every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every wing fell after his kind, and God saw that it was good.
Right, so on the 5th day, God made all humanity. Adam and their kids were part of that humanity, and they made it with other kids, which is why Cain went to Nod and found wives.
Right.
Okay, it's that simple.
Hey, 2 seconds. Anybody that comes saying that, where in the scriptures does it say that Adam and Eve had a daughter? There is none. They had 3 sons, and then one of the sons went off, like the brother said, and went and found a wife somewhere else, and the same time that they were living. So it's funny that the Lord speaks about a man and a woman coming together, but then he wants to say it's incest, but we only had 3 sons. What, did they go in and get with mom? Never says. It says he went to Nod and found a wife. Come on, man. It's just simple
You
math.
talking about different species? Or
Basic mathematics.
No,
This is a
not
wife.
a different species. The still human species. But we're not.
But just prior to what we would know from the Bible.
No, he's injecting and asserting that Adam and Eve had daughters. The Bible doesn't say that.
I just take it that y'all have a real specific definition of adhering to the
It's
Bible.
black and white. It's black and white. And it's absolute. Isn't truth absolute? Have you ever heard of absolute knowledge?
Well, I've heard of it.
Yeah. So there's absolute knowledge and there's presuppositional knowledge.
Okay.
Which one would you rather have?
Absolute.
Okay. So why are you trying to kind of critique us about our absolute
I'm
knowledge?
not critiquing at all. This is all educational to me, man. It's just
Okay,
something else I'm
back
taking in.
to you, man. What should happen for the rape, rob, murder, and enslavement of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Should white people go in slavery?
I mean, you tell me. Is that what you feel? It
That's
sounds
what
like
I
that's
feel.
you would
That's what the
is,
Bible teaches as well.
So then we're talking about all white males because females have been cut off in some lineage prior by absolute, by black and white, by somebody else breaking the
No. If
bloodline.
you have a daughter,
Yeah, if I had a daughter, well, if my forefathers had a daughter.
yeah, if your forefathers had a daughter,
Uh-huh.
and then she's going to be the seed of her father. Every daughter is the seed of her father, right?
Yeah.
So she goes and marries another white man. They have a daughter. Still a white girl.
I get it. So, but at that point, the
Listen, bro, we don't want your women. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay, all right, yeah,
We
I
want
feel
to
you.
put them in slavery
Shit, I don't either.
with the white man. What type of women you like?
no, just in general, women in general. Doesn't have to be a white. Doesn't have to be any sort of.
What's your
ethnicity
preference?
whatsoever? I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't confine myself to a preference.
Do you like culture? Do you like traveling?
I like traveling.
You like going to like
culture as much as the next guy?
You like culture, right?
I like to learn more.
So intermarrying would destroy global culture. If every nation decided, hey, let's intermarry with somebody else, every nation would have no culture. They would have the same, it would be a global culture. You wouldn't be able to go travel to look at interesting, unique things. You wouldn't be able to go look at one-of-a-kind, vintage antiques.
Really?
It would be just one global culture. Why? Because we decided that we should all just intermarry and there should be no distinct people group. So no, you shouldn't intermarry. Lions deal with lions, lambs deal with lambs, sheep deal with sheep, snakes deal with snakes.
What country would y'all say has the most intermingling? As far
America. America, according to the Bible.
And we wouldn't be, there's absolutely no
Give me Habakkuk chapter
specific,
2.
you know, culture here that's still
Habakkuk chapter 2.
applicable.
Give me what the hell is American culture, man?
I mean, just in general,
Baseball?
you know, the history of being built.
Hot
and
dogs?
everything, even what y'all are talking about, with slavery
Look,
and
I'm gonna tell you
else.
right now, niggas ain't traveling 2,000 miles to have a hot dog in America, bro. And have a Frank in America and watch a damn baseball game. That's
pretty,
not culture.
I do
What
a
you
lot
got,
of
jazz?
traveling.
Guess where jazz came from?
Here in this country? Here in America?
Here in America. Where did jazz?
From New Orleans.
Well, you think Asians are playing jazz?
No.
So you mean here in this country?
As far as
Jazz originated in this country.
Or directly influenced.
Jazz came. Where was the origination of jazz? How did it come forth?
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
By what mechanism? By who?
By the musicians.
The musicians. No. Jazz came from ragtime music. You know what ragtime music is?
No, why don't you tell me?
That's music that we sung in slavery.
Okay.
You know where gospel music came from?
Yeah.
Negro spirituals.
Okay.
Okay. You know where the blues came from? It's an extension of the gospel music, the Negro spirituals.
Okay.
Everything about the American culture came from who? Black culture.
That's right.
Or Hispanic culture with the salsa dancing and all the Mexican food. Hey, the white man, all he can say is he invented pizza, but he can't say that because the Mexicans got quesadillas.
That's right.
Good.
So what culture does the white man really have? Who made polo popular? Who made you want to wear polo? Look at how baggy your clothes are. Who'd you get that from?
Sorry, man, just lost some weight.
Who'd you get the fitted caps? Who'd you get the fitted caps from?
No, man, just
And then
the consumer.
gold. Look at those. You see those? Who'd you get those from? Bam!
Bam!
Where'd you get the water socks from?
Yeah.
The point is that there's no culture here in America except for people who came to America and made culture.
See.
You get it?
All right. No, man, I was just interested to see what the ultimate end game would be, where y'all would be happy at, and I guess that's just
Here. Well, let's get Isaiah 49:23 and Revelation 13:10.
Bring it out.
Do you have any remorse? Do you have any remorse of what happened?
As far as what I did specifically, or as far as my
Your
forefathers
people,
did?
your people, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what have you done to help fix it?
Let's say I volunteered or I've donated money or something along those lines.
Let's say. What you mean? Let's say. Have you done it? Have you done it or not?
No, I'm just saying it hypothetically. I'm just asking as an answer. Just hypothetically.
We're dealing with absolutes, remember?
No, well, I'm just saying it
We
sounds
said
like
we're not dealing with
there are
presuppositions.
absolutes,
We said we're dealing with absolutes.
Right.
So
but-
have you done something to help or not?
Well, it sounds like you have a very open version of absolutes. If it sounds one way, then it's absolute. But if it could go another direction, I mean,
you're proving who you are. You're proving that you're a devil, bro.
Really?
Yes, because you're double talking.
No, I'm just asking from a perspective of wanting to, hear it
Can
from
we
the
get a
other
straight
side as
answer?
well.
One thing I've learned through all my years of doing this is that a devil would never give a straight answer. So have you done something to help the problem, yes or no?
Oh, okay. You're asking specifically, or else I'm a devil. I don't give you an
Oh my
answer.
God.
Let's say no.
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean, let's say no?
Okay,
you keep
no.
saying, let's say.
Outright.
Okay, no.
Uh-huh.
No, okay. So
Yeah.
you haven't done anything.
Nothing.
Nothing. So so you're not sincere, you're not apologetic.
Right.
Okay, so what you were just telling me about having, all these clothes that came from another culture and,
So you
I
stole
was
our
enriching-
culture, so that means that
I was enriching somebody else, but that has no play to it at all. Whatever.
you're enriching a culture created here. You're being a culture vulture, a culture pirate. You know what a culture pirate is?
Let's say it's the same as culture vulture.
Let's say. Why do you keep saying let's say?
That's
Let's
just how
just say
I am,
it.
man. Yeah, that's just how I am. I just kind of try to hear it from both sides.
Okay, so You're being a culture pirate. You're being a culture vulture. How does that help the plight and the reciprocity, as Captain likes to say?
That's
How
right.
does that help the reciprocity? The balance of what you guys do to our
That's the
people?
word, balance. It sounds like, when we talk about
Wearing our
slavery
clothes,
or whatnot.
wearing our clothes helps the balance.
No, I'm not saying that.
Let's just say it does.
Okay, well there you go. Now we're going to say what I say. Go for
I
it.
know, it's just let's say.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So bring it up. We're gonna see, because we've been on a quest to
Right.
find one sincere white man who actually is remorseful for the 200 million Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that were killed by the hand of your forefathers.
But what would show, a necessary amount of remorse?
I'm gonna show you. For one, you're not a lawmaker, so you can't.
Not in a position.
You're not in a position to change laws. We're talking about a nationalistic, systematic, institutionalized thing here that they put in place to keep us down for a half a millennium. So I'll show you what you do, because what you're called is a two-time loser, and I'm gonna tell you why you're a two-time loser. Because you're at the bottom of this society. Or what do you do for work? Maybe you're not. Maybe you're just chilling.
I actually own a company.
You own a company. Okay. You look like you can kind of at the bottom of society.
What do you do?
own a
Tell me about the company.
What do you do?
Does cannabis harvesting.
Cannabis harvesting. Okay, so you do cannabis harvesting, which you then go and sell to
So do everybody.
Blacks, Spanish, Native Americans. Go ahead.
How much of your cannabis is CBD? What percentage? What's the percentage of CBD to THC?
What we do specifically, that's kind of a loaded question, but it's low. Let's say.
Low.
Yeah.
So you're selling people dope.
Is that what you consider it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because the CBD content is what makes it anything beneficial for the person. Because we understand the THC actually has an adverse effect on the body.
Okay.
But the balance that you guys are just talking about of CBD to THC can counteract that, and it can be something of profit. But if the CBD is low and the THC is high, that's dope.
That's why the FDA wants to regulate it, because they want to make sure Walgreens and all those stores that are going to start selling it aren't just selling dope and are actually selling what they were
That's what they said?
So you're a dope. So essentially, you're a dope dealer.
All right, but
And you call it owning the company.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's a sincere white man or not. If he cares that he can be on stolen land with your grow op, guess who helped your grow op? Guess who helped you become a 5-figure guy?
Oh, you're gonna tell me.
The Native Americans, because you're growing on their land. You're literally growing on their soil.
That's right. Let them know.
So you stole this land to then therefore buy a lot of land to grow from the Native American soil. And guess what's fertilizing your plants? The blood and bones of my Native American brothers.
That's right.
And you see how you benefit? In so many ways, you just benefit off of white supremacy, rape, rob, and murder. You can't get out of it.
Is there a specific, line of work that somebody of my persuasion should look for that would, be able to
I'm glad you asked.
all these things?
I'm
If I was a
glad you
farmer,
asked.
or if I, did
I'm glad you asked. Give me Revelation 13 and 10. I'll show you what type of job you can do today. You can start today. Go ahead.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 10.
Bring it out.
He that leadeth into captivity
So your people led our people into captivity, right? Go ahead.
shall go into captivity.
Shall go into captivity. So you want to know the line of work that you can get into right now is being a slave to the black man.
Go.
As getting in chains and serving the black man.
Right.
And getting out there on the cotton field and picking strawberries and picking cotton for the black man. That's the type of line of work that's righteous according to the Bible.
Okay. All right.
That's real reciprocity.
Black-owned business, and that's it. I'd have to definitely
Black-owned
be-
business with white merchandise.
Right.
With white merchandise. That's what it would be.
Right.
All right. Give me Isaiah 49 and 23.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 23.
Good.
And kings shall be thy nursing fathers,
Uh-huh.
and their queens thy nursing mothers.
Uh-huh.
They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet.
So the Bible says if the so-called white man is actually sorry about killing 100 million Negroes, 77 million Native Americans,
I better be on my knees.
you
right
better
now.
be on your knees, bowing down,
Yes.
licking up the dust off of our boots, according to the Bible. All right?
Yeah.
So, are you going to be a humble servant or a proud devil? Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to come a time where you're not going to be able to voluntarily bow.
See.
You're going to be in yokes of iron.
That's right.
To the Bible. Now give me Psalm chapter 139.
Bring it on!
Tell you what your pastor didn't teach you in this church. Give me Psalms 139, start at verse 6.
Bring it out.
What's your name? Let's just call you, let's just say slave.
Okay,
Let's just say
that'll
slave.
work.
The type of slavery that we're gonna inflict, it's not gonna be us raping your women. It's not gonna be us cutting babies out of your women. It's not gonna be us sodomizing the men that was on the slave ships like you homosexuals did. It's gonna be a straight, get out there, get that cotton, build the walls of the new kingdom. That's what type of slavery it's gonna be. You're gonna have to be in chains, right? So go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 149, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand.
The two-edged sword. You know what a two-edged sword is? It's like a knife. You know when you're cutting with a knife, right? Only one side can cut. If you do like this, the other side can't cut. This type of knife is going to be sharp, razor sharp on both sides, just in case you guys try to get out of line.
Right.
Go ahead.
To execute vengeance upon the heathen.
To execute vengeance upon the heathen. Anybody who's not a black, Hispanic, or Native American is a heathen according to the Bible.
Right.
So it's not just, let me give you some hope here. It's not just going to be the white people. The Asians, they oppressed us. The Arabics, the sub-Saharan African slave trade, they had some Israelites in there.
Oh, that doesn't make me hopeful.
Right?
I mean, so it's just absolute.
You're not going to be alone. It's going to be all these nations that had a hand at taking us down. So you'll have an Arabic buddy.
Nothing.
You'll have a Chaldean buddy. Forgiveness.
Yeah.
Give me Hebrews chapter 12.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Read that though.
And a two-edged sword in their hand.
Let me just tell you how crazy the white man is.
Let him know, God.
500 years, and all you have to say is I'm sorry.
No, like I said, man, it's just one of those things. It becomes a question where it's not necessarily black or white to me. I just ask in general to try to lay the foundation of what other people believe.
But you should have thought before you asked that. But you should have thought. You should have thought
sides.
about it before you asked that. 500 years.
No, I didn't ask. I was just wondering if that's because you said it made me hopeful that other people would be enslaved, that other races and religions would be enslaved. And just to me, that doesn't make me hopeful. That
what if I
makes
took
me,
your cannabis operation and I made $3 million off of it, and then 10 years later, you finally got the balls to come to me and say, you know what, I really don't like how you took my cannabis shop.
Like absolute domain.
You came in there and you killed my family that was in there. You stopped my family from eating.
Right. It would be no different than if the federal government
say sorry. All you would want is for me to say sorry?
Like I said, it wouldn't be a question of whether what I wanted or not. It would just be something that I'd have to be, expecting in reality. And in reality, if it was taken from me like that, it'd be no different than the United States government taking it from me. I know I'm in a gray area already with what I do, but I'm just saying, at no point do I think they would. Yeah,
but that's a federal thing, not a sociological.
Well, either or.
This is dealing with sociology here, right?
No.
Anthropology, okay?
Would the federal government come in, take your company, and then keep it going, or they'd come in and shut it down?
You think it wouldn't at some point make its way to some lobbyist, kids' hands or something along that line? At what point it gets legalized or decriminalized nationwide?
That's not what we're saying. We're talking about your company. Whatever is proprietary to you and what makes you and your company unique, taking that and then continuing it on is just thievery. Rather than saying on a federal level, we don't recognize this as anything legal, so we're going to come in and shut this down. There's a difference between what the example he's giving you and then what you're saying. The federal government come in and shut me down, and then 5 years down the line, like you said, when a lobbyist come in and they voted to be legal, then we can go and do it. No, it's not the same. He's talking about the company you have, the tax ID that you have, the LLC that you have, and take that and then run with it. You would have a problem with it if he did that.
I don't see it as any different than any number of companies that have had the exact same things occur.
So what do you mean you don't see? Okay, so if you let's say, wait. Okay, we're talking about hypothetical. Let's say there is no difference in what these companies did. Is what these companies did right or wrong? And if these companies did it to you, how would you feel about it? That's the question.
Personally, to me, it's wrong, and I would feel terrible about
it.
That's
what
would my expectation be afterwards?
Yeah.
It certainly wouldn't be some congressman coming and licking my boots.
We didn't say Congress.
You know what I'm saying? No, that's what I mean.
But he's saying if he did it to you,
who makes things legal and
no,
who doesn't?
here's the thing. If he did it to you, would you accept I'm sorry?
But you did. I said a show of remorse. it's not gonna end there. I'm not some congressman that's just gonna come in there and get my bootleg. After you lick the boot.
No. I meant somebody coming further along down the line. You know, once I made a claim on it, once I told you.
After you bow down and kiss the boot, then you'll be going into slavery according to the Bible.
Right.
That's
So
right.
That's called an order of prophecy. Okay, read that real quick.
Book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with God.
So God said it's righteous. You're saying I sure wouldn't want him to come kiss my boot. God said it's righteous. Go ahead.
To recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
To repay those that trouble the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
Okay? So God said it's righteous for him to come and treat you guys how you treated us, to oppress you and put y'all in slavery, right? Read that. Oh yeah, Hebrews 2. He said, what about forgiveness? Read that.
The book of Hebrews chapter 12 verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator.
You're a fornicator.
Yeah.
Or profane person.
And you're profane.
As Esau.
As Esau. Your forefather, the Edomites.
You're right.
God said he hates Esau, the Edomites. Read.
Who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
So a white man will sell his birthright for money. You guys are the main sellouts. You
That's
worship
right.
Satan.
Right.
The main Satanist on earth is the who? Be honest.
Capitalists.
No, the Rothschilds. And also too that pedophile Vatican of yours. Go ahead.
That's right.
For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
So God rejected the so-called white man.
Huh.
Go ahead.
For he found no place of repentance.
We're talking about, what about forgiveness? God said the white man can't forgive any forgiveness. Right? He's listening. Good job. Go ahead.
Though he sought it carefully with tears.
You see that? So the white man is such. You see how this white man in the Bible,
So
he
foul.
sought it with listen. You see how this white man sought forgiveness with tears? That's how you guys are. You act like you can rape, rob, and murder the whole globe, and then just say, "But I'm sorry," and everything should be good. All right, what you got?
So you gonna run and tell your people that?
No, keep going in Psalms 149.
Really wouldn't be too much need.
Book of Psalms, chapter 149, verse 7. To execute vengeance upon the heathen
Not only the white man, all these other nations. Go ahead.
and punishments upon the people.
God said punishment's gonna come on these heathens. Read.
To bind their kings with chains.
So to bind your kings with chains. All these higher up government officials, they're gonna be the first to get chains put on them according to the Bible.
That's right.
And to be honest with you, low levels like you, the Most High is just gonna kill you, bro. He's just gonna kill you because really we want the elites in slavery.
That's right.
There's really no justification in having some six-pack Joe from 8 Mile in slavery. We want the queens of England. We want Donald Trump's orange ass in slavery. All right, and all the other higher up Caucasians who are implementing these laws that are keeping the black man oppressed, that are making it okay to kill the black Hispanic man and get away with it and get rich off of it. Because these cops are killing niggas and creating GoFundMes and getting rich off the shit and then get innocent, right? So go ahead.
To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
See that? So he said y'all going in the chain.
So you wanna run back and tell your family?
Going in the chain. Yeah, go write a letter to the Rothschilds and tell them the real Israelites on the corner. We come for blood out here, man! All right, go ahead.
To execute upon the judgment written.
Judgment written. So this judgment is written somewhere. Where is it written at? All throughout the Bible. It's written all throughout the Bible what's going to happen to the other nations.
I guess my biggest question is, you just said it. If I do write a letter to the Rothschilds, something happened, would that make me exempt? Let's say I was personally named.
Here's the thing. This is why I got you. This is why he keeps asking the question like, so if I lick the boot, are we good? Are we good? He's feeling like an apology. I'm sorry. And if I lick your boots, we're good. That's going to cover the trillions of dollars that's been made to establish this country. It's going to take away from the PTSD suffered from those that are insane. All these different things.
Let me just answer that last question and you got it.
Okay.
You'll be a house cracker.
That's right.
If you'll be a house cracker, you won't be a field cracker. You'll be a house cracker.
Best I can do for you. The best I can do for you is that the sun won't beat down on your back, and I'll let you polish my spoons, knives, and my cutlery. All right? That's the best I got for you.
So we do have a little bit of empathy.
Well, no, there's going to be a structure. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
The thing is that when the slave does well, the slave gets rewarded.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? I give you 2 scoops of slop instead of a half.
And what we'll do is we'll put an iron rod in your hand, and we're gonna send you to go beat the hell out of the other Caucasians.
That's right.
This Caucasians that are not working hard enough, you'll be a taskmaster over your own.
That's right.
So you'll get to beat the hell out of them.
How does that sound?
Terrible.
That sounds terrible?
Yeah.
We're giving you a high-ranking position, man.
That's right.
That's a promotion.
Hey, it's terrible, but it happened to us.
That's an extra piece of course.
Hey, I said I figured it out.
Just hit me like shit y'all talking about right here. 8,000. This shit is real.
That's right. Bring it up. Bring it up.
I used to walk past y'all every day, bro. You know what I'm saying? I kind of know like a little bit of the knowledge, and I have heard people saying the things that you guys have been saying, like, you know, for a while. But I just be doing me. But you know, it just hit me the other like a week ago, bro. Like this shit is so important, it's so real, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Your life depends on this right here. You know?